All right, so what's up, YouTube? This one here is specifically for Greg because he asked about some stories from when I was in the Army. This one is about what 24-hour shifts were like, how much it sucked to do a 24-hour shift, how bad it sucked trying to get fuel on 24-hour shifts, maintaining your composure as a higher up person, and not getting in trouble with people. There was ways around this. I could have acted better. I was furious with the situation. My commo guy, who's my best friend now, could have fixed it retrospectively. He looked at it and was like, "Yeah, we could have done this." And the warrant officer that was evaluating us also said we could have done it. And I was just so livid at this situation. All right, so on deployments, you get evaluated like you do normally, right? For deployments, you do stuff called Table 8. You stay Table 8 certified in order to be able to deploy pretty much whenever you're getting ready to deploy, right? So, if you do that and you deploy, right, you have to maintain that same certification throughout all of your deployment, right? There's it's a certification, make sure that you are on top of the stuff that they're sending out, the information that they're sending out, the requirements that they're sending out for like different situations, right? So I was doing a 24-hour shift. The night prior, I'd stayed up all night redoing 5988s, which are pieces of paper for each piece of equipment that you have to go to a clerk to get printed out, and then you have to put on the clipboards and stuff like that and manage them, so, and sign them for that day saying that you found no new faults, right? So we did that, or I did that because I had my comma guy sit in my job like this. Hey, sleep well. Sorry. I had my comma guy sitting inside the van, right? And I was doing that, so I was up till like 4 in the morning doing that, right? Like actively 4 in the morning doing that, right? So I go back to the ECS. I have to radiate, right? So I'm radiating, right? And you have to be awake to radiate, right? I radiated for 4 hours, right? And IFF stuff, which identify friend or foe. And I finish at 8 o'clock, right? I finish radiating at 8 o'clock. 8:05. The evaluator walks in, man. I was like, you have gotta be yanking my chain, man. Like, that's all I could think of. It's like, really? Right now? Huh? And I told my combo guy, I was like, dude, if we don't fuel, we're going to power down in the middle of this evaluation, and I am not staying here. So I'm like, you need to go call Bruno. Bruno is our fueler. Great guy. Love that dude to death. He was not awake yet because he had done PT and then he was taking a nap after he'd done PT. Great guy, right? Just he had his own priorities because fuelers didn't really have to do that much. They had to fuel every once in a while. It's like every 12 hours they'd fuel, and that's it. And sometimes they'd alternate. So he was used to not being needed, right? But he was the only one there because the other one, I guess, was on leave because I think he was having a kid or something like that. Can't remember the exact details, but he was the only one fueling. And I was like, bro, he has not been back since yesterday. And we already used the second gen, and we hadn't siphoned yet. That was the ultimate fix that we could have done to get fuel into the generator. We could have siphoned from the gas tank, but I wasn't thinking of that because they don't really want you doing that. Somewhat, or they didn't at least so much because it had been sitting for so long that we were kind of like, I'd rather the diesel engine that moves it take the brunt of like what could be sitting at the bottom than the diesel engine that we need to keep all our equipment up take the brunt of any shit that could be at the bottom, like sediment and stuff like that. Like, it would chew through it the same, right? But the 150 kilowatt generators were a bit more mission essential than the trucks moving them, right? So because we were stationary, obviously. So we could have siphoned, right? But I told my comms guy, I was like, yo, dude, we have like 45 minutes worth of fuel, if that. And that's what he told me too. And he was like, yeah, dude, you're like spot on with that. And I was like, I know, dude, because like I did the math. And he was like, yeah, I just looked at it's bone dry, bro. I was like, oh my God, dude, this is gonna go out during our evaluation, and I can't do anything to fix it because we couldn't leave the evaluation, because when you go to a certain alert state, it's all hands on deck all the time. And if you leave that area, then you fail, right? So we were stuck in there, dude. I couldn't have done anything. So we're there. I'm getting evaluated, and all of a sudden the generator shuts off because it runs out of fuel, and that dude still hadn't showed up, dude. And I was like unrelentingly mad, dude. Like, I mean, like had there not been barriers in between me and that dude, I don't think my brain would have had time to cool off. That's how mad I was, dude. I was going to if I didn't smoke the dog piss out of that dude, I was going to physically punch him in the face. That's how mad I was. But luckily, I had to get past a warrant officer, and I had to be extremely nice to the warrant officer. And then I had to open a door and close the door nicely before I was able to walk away pissed off. And there was about like, I don't know, dude, probably about two or three football fields worth of space between me getting there to him. And dude, he was a specialist. So I mean, like, I wasn't trying to abuse my power or anything like that. By the time I got to him, I had cooled off, and I was like, Bruno, what the fuck, man? Like, I told you I needed you here like 3 fucking hours ago, man, and you are just now getting here. He's like, I couldn't find a ride, man. And I'm like, oh, dude. I was so mad, bro. I was like, Bruno, I swear. I was like, dude, I wanted to punch you on my way over here, bro. Thank God that there were things in between us. And I even apologized to him later. I was like, I'm sorry, I was so upset at that, Bruno. I didn't really have the right to be upset. Like, you were doing everything that you could to try and get to me. You just didn't have the availability, right? And he understood what, I was totally, like, sorry about it. But, dude, I was so mad. And that's how, like, lack of communication and, like, just inability to do things because people are not present can break down on you. Like, you could do the most plan. I had called before because I was like, dude, we're probably going to get evaluated. I had told my lieutenant, I was like, yo, sir, we're probably going to get evaluated in the morning, right? Because, like, I was proficient at my job, and that chief liked me, and I engaged with her nicely, right? She was a very nice person. Her name was Chief King. And I was like, I was furious. So she was shook to see me like that, because she's like, he doesn't normally get that upset about anything. And my commo guy was like, nah. He's like, the person down there is screwed. So he ended up fueling. Nothing ended up happening ultimately because we got evaluated again the next time we were on shift, which was not even 2 days later. But I made sure we had fuel that time, and so did my commander, because, man, my lieutenant got it from me because I was mad, dude. And my commander gave it to him, too. So he made sure that the fuel guy was there, man. But that is, honestly, it was an experience where I could have been a lot more nice to a soldier, but, man, I was so furious at the situation because I had told multiple people, like, yo, we need fuel, and if we don't have this, we're going to fail. And then we're going to lose certification, and the commander's going to be pissed, bro. It's going to come back to you. I told people, right? That's why I had been working on the 5988s, done all that stuff, right? But, man, that's just miscommunication. Well, I hope you have a great day. Especially you, Greg. I hope you have a good one. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. You the best, we the best. 8.